Hi, everyone. I'm Voan Kevitz, and I have an awesome treat for you. This is my very first interview of 2019, and so Happy New Year's, everybody. And also, another very first interview is she is not a knitter and a crocheter, but she's an awesome woman. So I've gotten to know her. We met. We could talk about how we met, and but this is Erika Nunez with Erika's Learning Resources.
Hello,
Correct?
everyone.
Hi, Erika. Tell everybody what you guys do, what you do, so they know.
Okay, so I'm a former preschool teacher. So on my Instagram, what you will see is learning activities for littles, and littles can do them, and homeschooling moms and preschool teachers. And I also make early learning resources. They're like little bears. They're learning little bears. They come with shirts, and they can teach little ones the ABCs, the colors, the numbers. And that's what I do. And that's what you can find on my Instagram.
That's awesome. So we'll leave the link to your Instagram and the show description, so everybody go follow Erika. And I follow yours, and I love like learning. How did you come across this, doing what
Well,
you're doing? How did you come across this
well, I
aspect of
used
it?
to be a preschool teacher.
Mm. So 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 now that you so where do you what so how can they find your products?
Well, they can find them on Etsy, and they can also find them on Instagram.
Awesome. So they can just reach right out to you
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram and then Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Etsy, Erika, how long have you had your Etsy shop? So everybody
I
knows.
opened it in October.
So a brand new Etsy newbie.
I'm still
Just to get,
learning.
I'm just getting over a cold, so if you guys just saw, I just put a cough drop in my mouth because as I'm talking, I can feel the tickle happening, and I don't want to get into a coughing spasm for you guys. But so you're a brand new Etsy seller.
Mhm.
How do you like it so far?
I like it. There's so much to learn.
Yes, there is.
And
Well,
I've got to say, the Instagram community has been really supportive.
that's
They're liking
awesome.
my shop. They're favoring my shop. I was like, wow, I'm just a newbie.
Hmm. I have learned that. I'm so sorry. I probably should have thrown this in right before I hit record, but as we do this, we learn and grow. But oh, and who's that in our in the background?
My daughter, I'm trying to get her to go watch cartoons, but I guess this is more interesting.
She's like, "Mommy's gonna be famous." She's like, I have to take a sneak peek into it. So so Erika, we'll put your Etsy link in the show description also. So let's talk about. So you're a stay-at-home mom, and
Yes.
you came across Erika's learning resources, like you developed it
Yeah, I
after you
developed.
had your daughter.
Yeah, well, I started with the bears. I didn't start with the learning activities right away.
Mm.
That came later.
What do they? Tell everybody what they get. Like with your bears.
So if you get the ABC bears, you get 26 ABC shirts, and you get 2 bears.
That's awesome. And
And then
get
on the
into.
bears,
Mhm.
on the shirts, I make an uppercase and a lowercase letter on it. Do you want to see one of the shirts I'm working on right now?
Yeah. Yes. This is exactly
Okay.
what I, everybody wants to see. This is awesome.
I sew everything by hand. She's really good.
So you're not a knitter or a crocheter, but you are a crafter.
For your mermaid. Oh, I don't want to show that one. So I don't know. Can you see it?
I can. That's yes.
So that's for the letter A. So I'm going to put an uppercase and a lowercase letter. Here's two.
Awesome.
Oh,
Oh, that's
and this is for the mermaid. I did this over vacation. So I was like, this might be my pirate mermaid because I haven't done
nice.
her yet.
Oh, so these are like learning tools for littles.
And preschool teachers and homeschooling moms. And panda. Oh
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so anybody that has young ones, and I know that a lot of the women that are watching my channel do have a lot of young ones, so this is great for them to see. And I also have a godson too that he's just
Oh,
6 months old, so I will be taking a look at your shop soon too when once Milo gets once he gets going too.
oh.
So
Well, if you ever want to reach out to me, because I also probably could give you some ideas for activities for him too.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's my little brother's kid. So they're learning as they're going about
Yeah.
having having this one, but they're having the time of their lives. So I have a dog that's pushing on me now. Um, so you know, since you're like a brand new Etsy, have you what have you been doing like to promote? So you're just solely on Instagram to promote
Yes.
your Etsy shop. And
Hmm.
do you have any questions about Etsy? Because I've been doing Etsy for 4 years now.
Do you
I've
do any of the paid advertisements?
I have never done a paid advertisement. I, period. Well, except for one time. I one time experimented with Facebook ad,
Uh-huh.
and and um and it was to promote for Christmas. It was like a couple of years ago, and just to promote my Etsy shop, to
Hmm.
sell my scarves. So I did one Facebook ad, and I just did a picture, like a collage of all my scarves, and then I promoted and I learned to target it. And I had just planned on spending $5 just to
Uh-huh.
get an ad up to show like 1,000 people, you know what I mean, that my shop exists. And I don't know what happened with the algorithms or with the form, because the next thing I know, I'm up to $25 that they charged on my credit card
Are you
that
serious?
I apparently okayed because I didn't know what I was hitting or that what I was agreeing to, you know what I mean? Because the next thing I know, like the budget, like it was just going up. The next thing I know, I spent $25 on a Facebook ad for the thing, and I did get up to about like 3,000 like new eyes that saw
Wow.
the ad and everything, but it didn't generate into any
Any
sales.
sales?
Yeah, it didn't generate into any sales that did anything. I had still gotten sales, but that was just through my organic, Instagram, through
Uh-huh.
through Etsy, because I at the time had really good SEOs. I had really good
Oh,
tags for
okay.
my scarves, so I was showing up on page one of scarves, which is amazing, you know what I mean, for a
Hmm.
product seller to be on the page one. So I was already making sales in that aspect of it. So that's probably my best tip for you. I've never done an Etsy ads or anything,
Uh-huh.
paid advertisement. That was my only experience with paid ad, was through Facebook, and I got burned
Oh,
because I didn't know what I was doing.
uh-huh.
I can laugh about it now because I'm just like, how did that happen? Because I was just hitting a couple of buttons. The next thing I know, I'm getting charged $25 and you can't go back. So all I can do is just let it run out, and you know what I mean, and show up to the 25, and then just stop hitting more buttons.
Uh-huh.
Is basically what I learned. So
Wow.
yeah, but and I've learned that, so that's why I've created the YouTube channel too. It's just
Hmm.
that was just my one of my ways of getting my shop out there too. So I think, yeah, I've concentrated on Instagram and um and the YouTube channel to
Okay.
promote my shop, you know. But have you ever considered starting a YouTube channel?
You know what? People have asked me, why don't you start a YouTube channel? But I'm already doing so much that
So
like,
much, yeah.
oh, I don't know.
Only because I was just like, if you're doing a learning, you know what I mean, like an educational, you're selling like some kind of a learning educational, like that's a great way for them to get an insight of what it is that you're selling and what you're doing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
especially like you had just offered me. I have a bunch of different activities to share with you about Milo, and I was like, so those are the great things that would make a great content for YouTube, for your audience to get to know you. You know what I mean? And that would help you promote your Etsy shop and promote what it is that you do. But but I don't even know if I would even, like, truthfully, because if you're saying you don't have the time, or it seems like too much right now, just
Yeah.
with Instagram alone, you can do videos, you can do a
I'm
live
doing
TV.
videos.
Yeah, so like I don't even think you need a YouTube channel, because now with IGTV,
I do that too.
so that I think that is just perfect already. You know what I mean? So you have an IGTV, that's awesome. Then they can go ahead and learn from that way, and you can share your shop that way. That's a great way to promote. I wouldn't even bother with YouTube for now, not until you're ready to, like, branch further out. I had started a YouTube channel because I have a Dare to Be Original Facebook group with knitters and crafters, and it's not just for knitters and crocheters, but it's just for anybody that loves handmade. It's just that
Uh-huh.
community. And so being on there, I saw a lot of people, like, wanting to start Etsy and wanting to sell their handmade products and everything. And because I had done it for a couple of years, I was like, I had so much to teach and share. And that's what made me realize, I'm like, maybe I should start a YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
to help these people, because I was like finding myself saying the same thing over and over again. So I was like, if I just hit the record button, I can help and share the masses a lot quicker that way. And that's what made me get into, you know what I mean, start a YouTube channel. But yeah, I would be, you should be fine with just IGTV. I haven't experimented with it yet,
Okay.
but it should
I
be interesting.
did a couple on there.
You have put a couple on there? All right, well, I'll have to go check it out. I'll have to go check it out.
Okay,
Um,
they're drafts, like they're really rough.
Everybody has a rough draft. Like, actually, all of my YouTube videos are unedited, I think there's only one that I had to piece together because I went into a coughing spasm, and then I just basically hit record and then unrecord, and then I just pieced it together. That is the essence of what I edit my videos to, is piecing two videos together. And I only did that one time. Everything else is just raw footage of me hitting a record button and talking. In fact, my number one YouTube video, which is I think up to maybe 65,000 views,
Uh-huh. Wow.
hour-long video of me stranding doll hair one strand at a time for an
Wow.
hour. And I don't know what I was talking. I think I was talking about the current book that I was reading at the time. And so and that's basically all it is. And it's like my most watched, most viewed, you know what I mean? And I think I still get subscribers every day from
Wow.
that one video.
That's
And
good.
it's a great lesson that I remind myself of, and I like to share this with everybody, because they always think, like, nobody wants to start something because until they think they have, like, this perfectly polished, ready to go plan.
Yeah.
And
True.
you know what I mean? And so we always hit this procrastination button of not starting anything because we're like, we're not ready, or you know what I mean? But I was like, when I think of all the videos that I did have planned, of the great content that I would write down, nothing got as much views as me turning on a record button and doing something for an hour with somebody. Is basically what they're doing, because how they even found me, it was just the most random, rarest video, because they're probably like, at the time I was making dolls. And
Oh,
then,
really?
yes, I made dolls. Actually, let
Let
me
me
see.
see.
Still,
I'm always admiring all
I've
these people.
sold I've sold all my dolls, and then what I didn't sell, I donated it to charity. And so I got rid of all my dolls, and she's the only one that's left, which is me.
Oh,
You know,
God.
uh,
She's
uh,
so pretty.
the,
Why'd you stop
the,
making them?
the Vone doll. And so this is the only one that I did keep, and that was me. And so for the video, I was literally like stranding one strand at a time for an hour. And that's
Mhm.
the video that still gets watched, it still gets aired, and it still gets likes and comments on. And I was like, it's just a great lesson that, because it's, and the reason why I even hit that record button to say, you know what I mean, to film it, is because I knew I had to sit there for an hour and strand doll hair. So I was
Mhm.
like, well, might as well just do it, film it, and then whoever's going to watch it is most likely going to sit down and strand their doll hair one strand at a time, and they're just going to do it with me. And that's what it ended up being. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it ended up being, is somebody just doing it with you, this monotonous work,
What cute doll.
Yeah, so and I was like, so every time, like, I try to remind myself, like, every time I think of, like, doing, like, these fancy videos and wanting to, like, show this great stuff, I have to just remember that, no, just hit the record button and let it go, and then the right people will find you, and then the right people will do what, you know what I mean, will follow and do exactly what you were putting out to do to help. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's that. And that was so the doll that I did for was the last giveaway doll that I had done, and then after that I branched into just solely making scars. So
Oh, well,
that
you
was
made
fun.
free dolls.
Oh, thank you. It's hard work. It's work that's to make and to sell these. It was just I could never charge enough for the
Oh,
amount of work that it was entailing to do.
I
And
bet.
you know what I mean? And if
Mhm.
I did, I it just became like, who was I selling it to? You know what I mean? And who did I want to buy it? And usually the people that wanted it were the people that couldn't afford it, or the people that could afford it most likely didn't want it, or that, you know what I mean? It was just a branding thing that I just never quite got. And more likely it just became like, I was like, you know what? I wanted to do something that's why I went with scars, is because I love scars. I wear scars, and I could learn new stitches, and I could grow and change as I learned different things. So that's why I had between the two choices, and then I just took the stick and ran with the one and ran with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, Erica, is there anything else that you'd like people to know about you?
Um,
What are your plans for 2019? So you
what am-
just started at this Etsy shop. What's your goal since we're in January?
so I'd like to eventually, I'd want to do a blog, but I'm just not sure how to start it. So I have to do some research on that.
Awesome. I
I
think
want
an
to do a
I think a
blog.
blog is a great way for you to get your name out there, because for the and your blogs would be about, like,
Like
learning
I
resources,
would post
right?
learning activities that parents could do at
Awesome.
home with their kids, and then I would post the learning resources.
That is awesome. That's a great idea. I think a blog is a great start.
And I want to continue to improve on Etsy. That's what one of my other goals too,
Yes.
to learn how to use the platform better.
Yes. The biggest challenge with Etsy is just SEOs and using the right words, um, the right terms, and researching key terms that your audience is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look in the you have to create your customer avatar, which is who is your customer base, who is your excuse me, who is it that you are selling to, and then and what words are they using, you know what I mean, when they're
Mm-hmm.
using search words. Because once you get that, everything else is golden, you know. It's easier, it gets easier than that after that.
And I want to continue to improve on my craft.
Yes, that's awesome. So that's well, the year 2019 is set and packed, huh? So
Hmm.
that's great. That's great. Well, I'm so glad that we did this. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Awesome. And maybe by the end of the year we could do another one, a follow up, and see how you're to see how
How
the
I
your shop
felt.
went. Yes, how you've evolved, and that's
Well,
awesome. Yeah, maybe we should do that. We'll schedule books and we'll have a before and an after.
mhm.
Oh, excuse
Well,
me.
I've come a long way because I didn't used to sell the early learning resources. I used to paint them and
Really?
the shirts. Yeah. So I
That,
taught myself how to sew.
that's awesome.
I've only been sewing like 3 or 4 years. 3 years.
Awesome. And you hand sew or machine sew?
No, I hand sew
You
everything.
you hand sew everything? You're
Hmm.
like me. You in the machine.
I haven't tried it yet. Eventually, I want to move to the machine too. I'd like to do both, but
That's
I'm really enjoying learning how to sew by hand.
that's awesome. I sew by hand too because I have a sewing machine that we don't get along very well, and that's actually why I learned to knit and crochet because the sewing machine and I never really quite got along, and 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 um and
That's
so
so.
whenever I need to sew, I always like I pull it out, and then I like gear up and I get a couple of like inches in, and then all of a sudden it starts to knot. It does things, and then we fight, and then I just chuck it to the side, unplug it, and then I'm like, fine, I'll just hand sew it. And then what I end up doing 3 hours later, I'm still hand sewing.
Yep.
And that's why I was like, this is why I knit and crochet. It's too funny. But yes, but every year I do start off with going, I think this is the year that the sewing machine and I
Are
are
gonna be
friends.
friends.
Yeah. So I always do start it, but we always end up in a fight, and then we go to our own corners.
That's too funny.
But maybe this is the year. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
It's a
see.
love-hate relationship.
Yes, we do have a love-hate relationship. So yes, I'm a hand sewer too, you know. But I would love to be a machine sewer. Like I would love to be that. How great would that be? I see people do it all the time, so I'm always like, maybe one day. I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't understand it, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, let's get that in the books. We should schedule to see how you do at the end of the year, and then if you have any questions about Etsy, like definitely reach out to me.
I
And
will reach out to you because I have a lot of questions.
yeah, well, another great tip since you are only 3 months into doing it is to make sure you fill in all of your shop policies and everything. These are the
Okay.
like the common sense stuff that not everybody knows to do.
I've been
Because
trying to figure out how to get into the shop policies, but I haven't been able to.
oh yeah, like get to know like the back of, and they have a lot of YouTube videos, like a lot of Etsy sellers that show you screenshots of how you get into the back screen of that. But definitely get familiar with that because you want your descriptions filled out, you want your shop policies filled out, you want the return policies filled out because you're a viable business, and so you want to have all the foundations set.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because essentially when customers go to your shop, when you finally, people always focus on like how I was just saying, you need to get SEOs and people to see your shop, but people focus on getting customers to the shop, but they never take the time to pay attention to what's like how they built their shop up, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so your foundations of like your shop policies, your return policies, your shipping policies, all that, you want to get all that squared away, typed out, crystal clear for your customers so that when they do finally land to your shop, you and them are a great match, and then they go and buy, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And a lot of
Yeah.
people forget that little step, and then so they finally get them to their shop, and the customer is like, well, I'm not sure if I should buy from this person because I don't know what they're offering or how, you know what I mean, how they can make me feel better with
Hmm.
when I purchase, you know what I mean? And so and then they move away. And once you lose them and they get to another shop, you know what I mean?
They purchased
It's
from the other.
it's tough to get them back. So that's why you want to take in the beginning that time to fill out all those things, and it would be ready so that when the customers do come, they'll know exactly what they're going for, and that you are a great match for them, and then they'll purchase, you know. And then the other great tip that I have for everybody is, for the newbies, is to always go above and beyond your presentation when you're sending, because you're a handmade um, seller. That's what Etsy is. We are a handmade platform. And so when people order from my shop, they are not looking to get any other kind of scarf or any other kind of, so the little personal touches in your packaging, in your gifts, like I always put a gift. I always put a gift. I don't advertise it. I don't say it, you know, I never say you get a gift with this purchase. I just surprise them every single time when they open their package from me, that they get a gift, and then it always makes them feel better, and then they give the presentation goes above and beyond that. They write really good reviews
Okay.
afterwards. You know what I mean? And that's my number one tip to getting 5-star reviews. You know what I mean? I take pride in the fact that I get 5-star reviews because I go above and beyond presentation. So when you do get that sale, go above and beyond your packaging to give to them, and then when they open it and they know that they had your personal touch to it, and it wins them over, and then they become your fans for life. They want to order again. They want to get the next package from you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So those are the little tips I have.
Well, I appreciate it. What I do is I put in tissue paper because I don't have a lot of money, for
Yes.
some things, but I do add a hand sewn apple to each of my package, and I
Oh,
also do a handwritten thank you card.
that's perfect. That's it. Those are the, you know what I mean, the tiny little touches that that go a long way when it comes to, you know what I mean, a happy customer. So
I
that's
wish I could add more. That's only what I can add right now.
no, that's perfect. What I do is just a simple. I have the same packaging, like, you know what I mean. I wrap in tissue paper, and then so I sell one of a kind scarves, and so as little gifts, I would put knit and crochet headbands, fingerless gloves, something small that complement, you know what I mean, the scarves. So I always like throw something like small like that in there, but um and then there's been a few times where I've actually thrown 2 scarves in. So like it just depends on what they've purchased, who actually bought my stuff, and then I can see what they might like, you know what I mean? So I'm always doing like little things like that. But that's awesome, like handmade, you know, hand sewn and personal letters, like those are the little touches that go a long way for satisfied customers, you know. So that's great. That's pretty much it. I think you're on the ball, you know. So I wish you the best of luck for 2019.
I wish you the same.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks for being my first interview of the year. And so everybody go check out Erika's learning resources, and the 2 links for her Etsy shop and for her Instagram page will be in the show description. So definitely go check her out and go follow her, guys. All right. So thank you, and have a great year. And I will
Oh,
see you.
they can always reach out to me if they want any ideas for teaching at home.
Oh, that's even better. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so send her a DM, guys. All right. Thank you. Have a great one. God bless.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.